Hi, it's Timberly with Living Our Priorities, and today I am going to show you how I fascia blast to relieve migraines. I have been asked this question a lot. People want to know what is the routine I follow, or how does fascia blasting help with migraines, so I want to show you. I follow a upper body tension relief protocol to relieve my migraines, which begins with blasting our scalp down to our face, our neck, our traps, our chest, our arms and hands. And so I'm going to show you how I do that and the tools I use to do that. So I start with blasting my scalp, and I typically blast my scalp with my hair dry. Now you can do this in the shower. Typically when you blast, you want to heat, oil, and then blast. Well, sometimes when I'm fighting a migraine, I don't have time to heat. If I feel a migraine coming on, I just start blasting immediately to relieve the tension, and I just go right into this routine. When I'm blasting for maintenance, I will heat and typically in the shower and blast in the shower. And because I'm African American, I don't wash my hair every day, so I will typically blast my head with my hair dry. So it's completely up to you. The important thing is that when you blast to relieve migraines, you start with your scalp. And I make sure I get really good behind the ears. If you suffer from migraines, you know how tender that is. So you just want to blast your head, start with your head. Now some of you bought the Mini 1 when it was on sale, and you can totally use this to blast your head, your scalp, which is really nice because it has a handle, so it works really great. Okay, so when you blast, it's important that you blast vertical, side to side, up and down, but never ever ever in circles. I'm going to pull my hair up now that I've blasted my face. Now depending on the time you have, a little blasting is better than no blasting. Depending on the time you have, you can spend more time or do it for about the amount of time you just saw me do it. I'll blast my head, then I'll pull my hair up and oil my face and my neck so that I can blast my face and neck. So I like to start from the top and move down, okay? So again, I will use the face blaster for my face, hence face. The face blaster is the only blaster recommended and approved for your face. So do not use a larger claw tool on your face. The claws are too big and your face has a lot of delicate areas. So when I have a migraine, this area is usually very sensitive, so I get in there, then I will flex my face by pushing it over and getting my jawline, and come down, do it on the other side, and get up in my ear, like that, and come up into the temples. And usually, like right now, this doesn't hurt, but when I have a migraine, this area, especially my nose, is very, very tender, and above my eyebrow. So see, I'm putting the claw above the claw is hitting above my eyebrow, not on my eyelid, but here above the eyebrow. When I have a migraine, that's super, super tender, but it feels really good. And so the red you see, that's blood flow that is getting to these areas. So when you have a migraine, this area is usually very tender. And so blasting this really relieves a lot of that tension. And then I get into, you know, the hairline, the temples, so my face. I will also do, when I take a shower, I like to blast my face and get my frown lines because it helps diminish the lines. My nose was crooked and I was able to straighten my nose by fascia blasting. It was, I think, longer on this side, so I blasted this side a little longer and got it to straighten up. Just a little tidbit information there. So anyways, okay, so when I'm done with my face, then I come down to my neck, and you just want to blast your neck. So again, the face blaster is really good for your neck area. You can use your mini one, just don't use your mini one on your face. Okay, so if you don't have a face blaster and you have the mini one, blast your scalp, blast your neck, just don't blast your face with it. Okay, so I will blast my neck, and I will give you another tidbit here. I was on high doses of prednisone for rheumatoid arthritis, and I had a serious double chin. This is how I got rid of it. I flexed my face like that and blasted. Just a few minutes on each side, a few seconds. And one thing with fascia blasting is you have to blast the whole area. Don't just blast this, like come down and blast the whole neck. Okay, so now, so I've done my scalp, I did my face, I did my neck. So now I'm moving to my traps, and my hair is shedding. I personally like to use the Master Blaster on my traps. Same claws as the face blaster, just on a longer bar, which means I get more leverage. And my traps, for me personally, is where I hold a lot of tension and stress. So this Master Blaster lives in our shower because I will blast my traps almost every time I shower. So I like to use this, then switch over to the other side. And I will do some other tutorials for you on how I blast some other techniques. But for those of you who suffer from migraines, this is all I did the first few months of blasting because I was desperate to get rid of my migraines. I suffered from about 20-25 migraines a month. I'm down to like 4 or 5 now, and when I do get them, they don't last very long because as soon as I feel one come on, I start with this migraine protocol. Okay, so once I've done my traps, I will now move down to my chest area. Again, up and down, side to side, diagonal, never, never in circles. Add some more oil. Not sure if I said this or not. If I did, I'm just going to repeat it. You can use whatever oil you'd like. I started out using, I think, grapeseed oil and almond oil. But over the last couple years, I'm exclusively using the Ashley Black Blaster Oil, only because it has other properties in it for healing your skin after blasting and minimizing bruising. When you blast, you are breaking up connective tissue and you may get some bruising. And that's just getting fresh blood flow to those areas. Well, her blaster oil actually has some ingredients in it to help heal the skin. So I've been using it, and when I started using specifically this blaster oil, my bruising is very minimal. So, okay, so once you use a smaller claw tool, I like to go in with a larger claw tool, and when I'm doing the this protocol for my migraines, I like to use the Mini 2 because it's just easier to hold. I have all of the blasters. I love them all for different things, but specifically for this, I like to use this handheld Mini 2. You see how red I'm getting? That's good blood flow. Okay, so I'm going to go into my shoulders and my arms now. I have oil on, so I'm kind of moving it around. I will use the face blaster. See, I love the face blaster. It's just easier to hold when I'm doing this. I love all the other blasters for other things, but the migraine protocol, I love the face blaster. So I'm able to get behind my shoulder, and then you move in. You know, sometimes people think, oh, I have a headache, and you want to focus on your head. I learned early on to relieve my migraines, I have to blast from my head all the way down to my hands. I'm going to back up so you can see me blast my whole. I need some more oil. You have to blast from your head all the way down to your arms and your hands. The first time I did this, literally, as I was blasting my arms, I could feel the tension from my head relieve. I didn't realize how important it was until I started doing it. So learn from my mistake. Blast head to fingers, okay? So I'm using, again, the face blaster, blasting my hands. The claws just get right in there with the fingers. Really, it feels really good. This feels good whether you get migraines or not. I blast my hands. Feels very, very good. Then you can come in. Now you could use the Master Blaster, same claws as the face blaster. It covers a little more space, gets some more leverage. It's easy to do underneath here. Then you want to come in with your larger claw tool, and for some of us ladies, we call this area our bat wings. Mine aren't as prevalent as they used to be because I blast regularly. So using the Mini 2, if you have the Mini 1, you can still do this as well. You can use your Mini 1 because that handle gives you a good grip. If you have the larger claw, the original Fascia Blaster, same thing. Now for me, you see how cumbersome this is? That's why I like using the Mini 2. If I'm going to use a large claw, I prefer to use this. It's just easier. Okay, so once you blast that side, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And take that from me. I have blasted one side of my leg, the right side, because I have a dent that I've been working on. And that leg is starting to look real good. But I have a tendency to do one side. And so my left leg doesn't look as good as my right. So what you do to one side, you need to do to the other. So I'm back to blasting the smaller claw tool on my other arm. And again, going down to my fingers. And my right arm seems to be a little bit more sensitive than my other arm because I'm right-handed and I use it a lot. So you can do a lot with the face blaster. Or again, you can use the Master as a prep tool because it's a smaller claw tool. It works just as good, if not better, because of you can use the handle. Sometimes, see, that's less energy moving your arm if you're going to use a bigger tool. And then come in with a larger claw tool, just like I did on the other side. All right, and then you can go in with the bigger claw tool everywhere. So you use the smaller claw to prep, the bigger one to massage. And I like to end back with the smaller claw tool. I'll go over everything again with the smaller claw tool. So pretty much that is my routine. I blast head, face, neck, chest, traps, arms, and hands. And then I will usually like flush it out. You kind of want to flush going towards your heart. I'll flush my arms up. See how red you get? That's blood flow going. You're getting good blood flow. So there you have it. That's how I blast to relieve migraines.